excited about that. Oh, well, maybe I should start over. Hi, I'm Lainey Willis, and I am a nurse practitioner and a new functional medicine provider. I studied this summer, functional medicine, and have added that to my toolbox to help patients, to help people. I still call people patients, sorry, but to help people realize how they can get well and stay well by doing things themselves at home, taking care of themselves. And so Brittany has asked me to speak tonight about tying in medicine into our world, if you will, of essential oils and natural remedies. And so I know that recently, over the past few months, we've been studying all about nutrition. And so nutrition is definitely the basis of life. So this is kind of my take, if you will, on nutrition as far as medicine goes. So all right, Brittany, let's go to the next slide. A lot of people might wonder, can food really be used as medicine? Because, you know, when you eat every day and you eat every day and you go along in your life, and then all of a sudden something's wrong, and so then you end up having to go to the doctor, and you get medicine from them. And in the past, and maybe you're still in that boat, maybe you're new to the natural world, that's kind of the treatment that you follow. But so I'm going to give you a distinction in the difference between Western medicine. It is focused on diseases or illnesses and the prevention or the treatment. And believe me, I say prevention very lightly because they don't talk hardly at all about prevention. It's all about, you come to them, you have a problem, here's a pill, go get out of my face. And unless you have a really extraordinary physician or provider, that's kind of the treatment that you get, you know. So Western medicine studies the development of the disease or of diseases. They do not study nutrition. Functional medicine focuses, however, on wellness strategies and lifestyle choices. It empowers individuals by identifying and addressing the root cause. And that is huge. You're going to start seeing that, hearing that everywhere you go. Root cause medicine is so much better. So you want to know what is causing that disease, what is causing that illness, and then you want to employ some food and herbs and some really good things that I'm going to tell you tonight to help you to heal. Okay, Brittany. She's kind of running PowerPoint from over there. So white coat knowledge. So I had to throw this in there because, you know, a lot of people go to the doctor. So we'll just call them a white coat. Okay. Not trying to be mean, but let's just go with it for the moment. So let's say you are diagnosed with something, and usually you accept it as gospel. The doctor says, this is your problem. This is what you have. Now you're going to have to take medicine for it for the rest of your life. Anybody here heard that before? I really don't like that phrase. I really think that is not what we need. Okay, so according to Stanford Nutrition Science, although nutrition education varies by school, a 2021 survey of medical schools in the US and the UK, published in the Journal of Human Nutrition and Diabetics, found that most students, these are medical students now, receive an average of 11 hours of nutrition training throughout their entire medical program. Now, you have to consider that they're in school for at least 4 years, and then some of them spend 3 to 7 years in a residency, but only 11 hours. So that's like maybe 4 classes, if they're lucky. That time is spent on what really is the substance of life, and that's food, right? So, and this is a quote from a medical student. He says, "We learn very little about food and nutrition during our medical training, and we rely on the often outdated, this is from him now, advice of a dietitian to whom we hand over the reins and the responsibility when it comes to advising our patients about what and how to eat and drink." So let's move on. And my suggestion is, can we take responsibility of this? Right? Okay, so you might be sitting there saying, yes, we need to take responsibility for our life, but I'd like for you to consider some things like our genes. Do we metabolize foods and meds the same way? Miss Nancy, do you metabolize food and medication the same way that I do? Probably not, right? Who knows? And 2, we may have something that more and more people are learning about now. It's called MTHFR, and that's a specific gene in our body that does not allow us to metabolize certain things. Okay, I'm not going to go into depth with that, but just, you know, as for knowledge that we don't all metabolize things the same way. And then let's consider our upbringing. Comfort foods. Who wants to put in the chat what your comfort food was growing up? I can tell you mine are mashed potatoes, doggone it. Love me some potatoes, okay? Anytime I ever got sick, that's what my mama made for me. Mac and cheese. Yep, Brittany likes that too. Bean burrito. Oh my goodness, you're from Arizona. Okay, I get it. Yeah, grilled cheese sandwich. Absolutely. Those comfort foods are the things that we fall back to, right? Like if you're not feeling well, or if you're at a loss for, you're sick of planning 364 days of meals, what are you going to do? Jump on that comfort food. Then let's consider our lifestyle. Who here is on the go? Anybody besides me? On the go. You live on the go, right? Lara's packing probably as she's watching to go to convention, right? On the go for sure. Our environment. How many toxins are in our environment? How many xenoestrogens do we come in contact with? Bromide is a chemical that is carcinogenic, which means it causes cancer. How often are we exposed to that? I will tell you, if you like the new car smell, anybody remember that? New car smell? I've heard people before, I just love that new car smell. That's called bromide, and it causes cancer. But people don't know that. We got to get the word out about this, okay? So, but all these things, you might want to say, okay, well, let's take responsibility at least for what we eat. Okay, so now let's talk about what we're going to eat. The EWG.org, y'all can take a screenshot of this slide if you'd like, or you can just write down EWG.org. Look for the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15. Okay, the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15. So the Dirty Dozen are the 12 dirty foods, because that means they have so many chemicals on them that you need to buy that food in the organic aisle. Okay, those are the Dirty Dozen foods. Now, you might, because people say, oh, well, I can't afford to eat organic. Not every food has to be purchased to be organic. Okay, there are 15 clean foods. You don't have to buy the organic in that version. It is better if you can, but you don't have to, okay? So check out the ewg.org for finding out which foods are okay to not have to be organic. And then number 5 is the nutritional value. Our food today is literally depleted of nutrients. Okay. I think what I heard last was, Brittany, you can go ahead, that we would have to eat 8 apples today to compare to the nutrition that our great grandparents ate 8, because the nutritional value of that apple is so poor now. Okay. All right. Did I get anybody's blood going? Do I have anybody going, good grief, what is this gonna be about? Okay, slow down, take a breath. I forgot, I had it in my notes. I was going to tell you guys to grab your favorite oil so that you can inhale that oil. If you don't have it in your diffuser beside you right this minute, take that oil, just smell it. It's going to help you to relax, okay? And to be able to take in what I'm going to teach you. All right, so our bodies were created to heal themselves. Ever heard that? When, there's a stipulation, when given the right circumstances. So like getting proper sunlight. And to do that, of course, because the doctor says to do what? Stay out of the sun. And I am the skin cancer queen over here. So believe me. But doTERRA has a great sunscreen now. So put on your sunscreen and get you some sun, okay? But just don't let your skin burn. Drinking adequate water, at least 8 glasses a day, okay? Or if you understand liters better, you should drink at least 2 liters of water a day. Getting plenty of exercise, proper amounts of sleep, and low amounts of stress. And yes, good nutrient-dense foods. Now, Miss Nancy, where do you get your best foods from, dear? I know that answer, but you tell everybody. My farm, she says. Yes, yay. See, she grows her own. She puts in the soil what she knows needs to be there. So she gets her good, dense nutrient foods from her, from her yard. But not all of us can do that. So we have to learn to shop well and to pay attention to different chemicals that might be on foods. And before I go any further, just so y'all know, there's some kind of chemical that they're using nowadays and putting on fresh fruits and vegetables. It's gonna have a little sticker on it, supposedly, to tell you that that chemical has been used on that food. It is called Apeel, I think. And so be very aware and start doing your research about a chemical called Apeel. And they're making it out as though it is the best thing in the world for you, and it is not. Okay? It does not wash off well. And so you do your research about that. Okay, it's time for us to reframe our perception of lifestyle, chronic disease, and how we can improve it, okay, by what we eat, drink, or what we don't. In other words, what we avoid, okay? Soda, that's an avoid, okay? That's a really strong avoid. All right, let's go on to the next one. So stress, we talked about stress a minute ago. How can you lower your stress response? We'll start with that first, because who on here does not have stress? Raise your hand. No stress? Miss Nancy. Nancy's like, I'm retired. I got a farm. I get to play with my goats. She doesn't have any stress. I love it. But most of us have stress, right? So how do we eat our way away from stress? And that is to eat the rainbow every day. Not, oh, I have a salad a couple of days a week. No, man, you got to eat the rainbow every day. Okay. And I tease my husband, how many colors do you have on your plate? Let's put some more colors on there. Foods that are vibrantly, if you did not know this, colored all the way through are a sign that they are rich, phytonutrient dense foods, like green leafy vegetables. If you turn that leaf over, it's going to be just as dark on the underside as it is on the top side, or pretty close. Beets, green beans, all these things are the same color all the way through. These are very healthy, phytonutrient dense foods. Okay. This will help you to reduce your stress just by eating these foods. Getting more vitamin C, because low vitamin C has been linked to high inflammation in the body. Okay. Now, you might be surprised to know that, or to learn that yellow bell peppers have more vitamin C in them than an orange. Doesn't that sound crazy? But it's true. Okay. So here's a whole list of foods that are high in vitamin C. Eating these foods can reduce your inflammatory markers, which helps to reduce your stress. Okay. Avoiding foods like gluten, eggs, dairy, lectins, nightshades, any of these things that are known allergens to you, obviously. We'll talk about allergies in a little bit, but these particular foods are the well-known foods that kick up inflammation in the body. And if you do not know, inflammation is the root of pretty much all disease. Okay. So think about it this way though. Louis Pasteur, I don't know if do you know who Pasteur is? He came up with the first with the penicillin vaccine, right? He developed penicillin. On his deathbed, he said the germ is nothing. It's the terrain that matters. So the terrain is your body. Your body is the terrain for the food to be able to work or not. Okay. So let's move on. Okay. So now I'm going to hopefully teach you something you don't know, and that is to increase your NRF2, which is a protein that can turn on genes in your body that are responsible for antioxidant and detox pathways. It helps decrease inflammation in the body. You're going to hear me say that over and over. Decreases inflammation. Okay. So foods that are high in NRF2 are these fruits, and some of them tell you why these fruits, like the red and purple grapes, have resveratrol. Apples have quercetin in the peeling. Okay. Citrus fruits, particularly oranges, grapefruits, lemons, all these things are really good with that in kicking off your antioxidant and detox pathways. Okay. Then we have something that's an antioxidant called EGCG, and that's in green tea. Okay, I was going to explain what that is, but our call's not going to be long enough for me to explain all that. Okay, but just write down or take a picture of this slide, EGCG. Okay, and it helps prevent Alzheimer's. And I bet Mr. Phyla knows all about EGCG. Okay, chocolate. Did you know that chocolate can reduce your stress? And it's not because it's a comfort food. It's really good for as an antioxidant. Okay. Now I'm not talking about Hershey's milk chocolate, y'all. Y'all got to have the good stuff, the dark chocolate. Okay. Then here's some vegetables that that will really help to reduce your stress, internal stress. Now in medicine, if someone comes to me and says, well, I had this diagnosis at this point in my life, and I had this. Then to me, in my mind, we call them insults. So that's an insult to the body or to the terrain, right? We're talking about the body's terrain. So what you want to do is realize that even though you might not think you're stressed out, your body could be stressed out. And so these foods, by adding these foods to your daily life, they can help to reduce the stress. Okay. So we got yellow onions and scallions. And today I was reading somewhere they were talking about red onions as well. Now, I don't know the exact ingredient in red onions that help, but I know that they're very healthy for us. Okay. Herbs like parsley, thyme, and garlic. They have this ingredient in it right here. Theos, I don't know how to say it. I'm not even going to try. There you go. Okay. But there's lots of herbs that can help reduce your stress. All right. Now, what is your body terrain like? Brittany, can you change the slide, babe? We're going to talk about, thank you. We're going to talk about abdominal issues. Do you have these things? If you do, guess what is good for them? Pumpkin and papaya seeds, a food. Okay. Do you have acne or skin issues or eczema, psoriasis? Tea tree oil is great for these issues. If you have allergies, try Ease. Now, I'm going to tell you about this. So if you have allergies, your body's already recognized an allergen, okay, something it doesn't like. Having Tri-Ease on board on a regular will help you to avoid getting into trouble with your allergies. So I used to tell patients a long time ago, before I knew about doTERRA, taking a Benadryl, if you know you're going to go out where you might possibly get stung by a bee, take a Benadryl before you go. Heavens to Pete, don't take a Benadryl. Okay. It's not good for you. It's not healthy. Now it has its place, but not when it comes to this. But taking a Tri-Ease, it has no side effects. It is lemon, lavender, peppermint, and that's it. Okay. So it's good to have that on board so that your body's prepared if you come upon an allergen. Okay. If your allergies are minor, then you might not need to do that. But if you know it's coming into fall and you're allergic to something in the fall, then you should probably take your Tri-Ease every day before you go outside, right? All right. Anxiety. Is your terrain, your body terrain, an emotional mess? Maybe you need to have adaptive on board. So first thing in the morning when you get up, when you are drinking your coffee or eating your breakfast, you should take your adaptive in the morning. That way you have that on board before anxiety attacks you, right? High blood pressure. Now, guys, they call high blood pressure the silent killer for a reason. Are there foods that you can eat to help your high blood pressure? Yes. Are there oils that you can use to help with high blood pressure? Yes. Could they possibly help you get off of blood pressure medicine? Yes, possibly could. But that has to, I love my adaptive too, Nancy. Thank you. That has to be monitored with your provider, okay? Because it might not be you and your anxiety and your terrain that causes you to have high blood pressure. It could be you may be like me and it's genetic. Okay. Some things you just can't change. You deal with it. I take my blood pressure medicine every single day. I also will use lemon in my water. If I feel like I'm going into a situation that I know might get my blood pressure going, I might add a little bit more lemon that day because lemon helps to stabilize the blood pressure. But there are foods too. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Immune issues. Do you catch every cold that comes along? Artificial food dyes. Do you have things in your pantry like Gatorade. That's the most beautiful blue color. Do you have friends who buy all these foods for their children? I have children who buy these things for my grandchildren, and I cannot seem to make them understand that those dyes are unhealthy. But look at this. Artificial food dyes are made from petroleum, y'all. Petroleum. And our FDA allows it. And over the past 50 years, the amount of synthetic dyes used in our foods has increased by 500%. Is that just not staggering? Like, that's just crazy to me. All right. Do you have inflammation and pain in your joints? Do you have neurologic pain? Maybe you need some deep blue. Maybe you should be taking some turmeric. Y'all, turmeric is, and the ingredients in deep blue are amazing to help reduce inflammation. Okay. Do you have respiratory issues? Do you get bronchitis every year? Maybe you need to be using more breathe oil. Okay. Stress. We already talked about stress. Adaptive, lavender. Y'all can throw in there, what is your stress oil? If adaptive is not yours, maybe it's a citrus you like. I'm not sure why, but I take my adaptive capsule every night. Well, it may help you sleep. Some people do take it at night. Balance and forgive. Oh, goodness. I need to use my forgive more often. I always forget about that one. Thank you for commenting. Yeah, that's absolutely. Absolutely. All right, so let's move on. And let's see what foods or oils are medicinal. Okay. We're going to talk about a few categories here. Okay. High blood pressure is the first one. Why? Because a lot of people have it. And the people that you come in contact with that you might like to share doTERRA with, they're going to have it too. Okay. And they're going to have been told by their doctor, you have high blood pressure. Here's your medicine. You're going to need to take it for the rest of your life. That's what they're going to have been told already. Okay. So you may have to convince them that that might not be true. They may be able to stop taking it. Okay. But it is very important to control because it is the silent killer. They call it that for a reason. Okay. So if you've been diagnosed and you but take your medication if you've been diagnosed. If you come to a point in your life where you think, hey, I would like to try and come off this medicine, there's a way to do that. Talk to your provider, shoot me a message. I'll work with you, tell you how to try to work your way off of it. Okay. But here's some oils that are amazing. Okay. So bergamot, first one on the list. Just put it in your hand. Y'all know, put it in your hand, rub your hands together and smell, right? Bergamot influences calcium levels in the cell. Okay. So if you take a blood pressure medicine that is a calcium channel blocker, then bergamot might be the great one for you. Okay. Now I don't break down the different type of blood pressure medications, but I will show you a book that I got lots of information from. This is called What Big Pharma Doesn't Want You to Know About Essential Oils. Okay. It is by Dr. Scott Johnson. You might have seen some other books by him. Okay. What Big Pharma Does Not Want You to Know About Essential Oils. It's a great book. It's very easy to read. And I got lots of great stuff for tonight's class out of it. All right, so here's a whole list of oils that you can inhale. And then there's spearmint. Spearmint has carvone, and it's a 100 times more potent calcium channel blocker than the drug verapamil. Okay, this is just not out of my head, y'all. This is straight out of this book that this physician wrote. Okay. Citronella essential oil has citronellone. Yeah, that word. I can't say it right this second. That blocks calcium from entering the smooth muscles of the heart and the blood vessels. Okay. Now, y'all know we do not put citronella in our mouth. We cannot take it internal, but you can definitely use it topical or just breathing it. Okay. Black pepper essential oil inhibits ACE activity, which is vasodilator activity. All right. And then here is a way that you can try. Take a capsule with 5 drops of bergamot, 2 drops of black pepper, and spearmint and lavender up to twice a day. So those are the kinds of things. Let's go to the next slide, please. Those are kinds of things that I would, tell any of my patients. All right, now foods. So we talked about oils. Now let's talk about foods. What foods can help with high blood pressure? Y'all, if you don't learn anything else tonight, if you don't take anything else home with you, please remember this. Get yourself some Himalayan pink salt. Forgive me, I'm going to walk away. Sorry. I forgot to bring it over here. Okay, so I have it in just this little tiny container. Okay, can you see it? See those crystals? This is Himalayan pink salt crystals. Okay, now you can buy pink salt that's fine. You can buy it that's coarse. You can buy it in the little grinder thing, but you really need some coarse crystals. Okay, either pink Himalayan or Celtic salt, because salt pushes water inside the cell. Have you ever heard somebody talking with someone who's elderly? Oh, I don't want to drink that water. I'll have to go to the bathroom again. I don't want to drink any water. I'll just have to be running to the bathroom. Well, that's because when they drink the water, it stays on the outside of the cell. It doesn't get in the cell. So then all it does is pass right through them, in essence, in the mouth, in the gully, down, and out the kidneys. So, but with the salt helps it to be absorbed inside that cell, and then they're not running to the bathroom every time they turn around. And the water that they're drinking is being utilized. Okay. Now, notice that I have in here not white salt. I don't care if it's sea salt. If it's white, it's the wrong one. Okay. Celtic salt has 84 or 86 minerals in it. Okay. Himalayan pink salt has 72 minerals in it. You need those minerals. Okay. White salt has no minerals. That does not help you if you eat food that is poor in nutrient value, and you eat salt that is poor in mineral value. That's a terrible diet. Okay. So you want one of these salts, it doesn't matter. And all you do literally is take a little tiny crystal, smallest one you can find, little tiny crystal, put it on your tongue, let it start dissolving, and drink a glass of water. Okay. You can sip it over time, or you can drink the whole thing at once, but you need that salt with that water. Now, I've heard people say, well, maybe I should just put the salt in the water. No, it's better if you put it on your tongue, because you're going to lose some of that value in diluted water, diluted down in the water. Okay. Does that make sense? This will help to lower your blood pressure, as well as help your body to hydrate. It is the fastest way to hydrate. Okay. All right.
Love that. I started doing that. Also, really quick, I'm sorry to do this, but my little boy keeps coming in and needing help with something for a few minutes. So I'm going to turn off my screen share, Lainey. And
okay.
If you turn yours on, just how we had it before, will be great.
Okay. I'll try it.
That way, I'm like, I won't have to run back in here because he keeps coming in. I don't know if people.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
That is perfectly fine.
But I love, so I'm going to stop mine and then I'll let you get yours up. we learned about doing this salt thing a couple months ago, and has anybody else that was on that call started doing that? Because it's been really powerful, because I'm one of those people, I drink a lot of water, but then I'm in the bathroom like every 2 minutes, like it's ridiculous amounts. And I'm over exaggerating, but still, it feels like very frequently. But when I've started to do the salt, it really has made a big difference. And
Yeah.
so, anyway, I'm just going to encourage you guys, because even I had put it in the water, but putting it on the tongue just seems to be different. And I don't even have the big crystals. I've just taken a pinch of our salt because we had
Okay.
salt already, and that seems to be working well. So,
Well,
perfect. We can see it up here. So thank
you,
you.
you, you can see it now?
Yes, we can see it now.
Okay.
Thank you. Now my little boy, I'm like,
Okay. I'm gonna move my camera because it's on the other screen. There, now.
yeah,
Now, can
it
you
looks
see me?
great. Yep.
Am I looking at you now?
Yep. You're looking good. Looks
Okay.
good.
Okay. So, thank you, Brittany. I love that. And I was not sure if we had talked about the salt, before, but I definitely wanted to throw it in there. And it definitely will help your blood pressure. Even if you don't know you have blood pressure issues, it will help you. Okay. Um, and the Celtic and the Himalayan salt are very much like our lemon oil. If your blood pressure is too high, it will bring it down, and if it's too low, it will bring it up. Okay. It's just smart that way. That's all I can tell you. Now, what are some healthy foods? Here we go. Here's a list. Y'all take a picture if you like. With between fruits, vegetables, nuts, oily fish, spices, and dark chocolate. Anybody with me? Everybody love dark chocolate. I personally love fruit. So, and vegetables, I mean, not crazy about pistachios and walnuts, but anyway, they're great for the heart. So why not, right? Really good stuff. Now, how do you incorporate more nuts into your life? Anybody want to throw out a suggestion? I keep looking to the other screen because I can't see the chat except over here.
Dark chocolate with nuts.
Dark chocolate with nuts. Yeah. Yeah. How about throwing some nuts in your salad? Yeah, that's what we do. Pumpkin seeds, all kinds of seeds and nuts. Yep. Throw them into your salad. And then it just go right down with everything else, right? Putting nuts in breads. Like if you make bread like Miss Nancy does, you can put nuts in there too. All right, let's move on. What foods or oils are medicinal for abdominal issues? How about some oils like, okay, so if your doctor says, oh, you have this tummy troubles, just take an antacid. Well, I can tell you that ginger essential oil is going to be better for you than an antacid. Okay. It increases the gastrointestinal motility, as well as a medication that is given for GERD, or gastroesophageal reflux disorder, called metoclopramide. Okay. Ginger oil was used in a study, and it works as well as this medication. Okay. It also inhibits H. pylori growth. If y'all don't know what that is, that's an infection in the gut. And let me tell you, if you get H. pylori and you go to the doctor, they're going to give you what they call a cocktail of meds. They're terrible. I'm sorry. I'm so dramatic tonight, but they are awful. They taste awful. They leave a metallic taste in your mouth. They tear up your gut. You're supposed to take them for 2 solid weeks. Most people quit. They quit taking them. They just can't do it. Okay. But ginger oil by itself works as well as this medication. Okay. Then we have the probiotics. Please, 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 if you are not taking our probiotics, please do so right now. I know in anticipation that doTERRA is going to be, has changed the formula somehow to make it better. I can't even imagine because I was so blown away by the technology of how they made these. But PB Assist and PB Assist Junior, listen, they both work. I love the Junior. I like to use the Junior around 3 o'clock in the afternoon when I get a craving. Just start craving something. I'll take the probiotic Junior and my craving goes away just like that. Terrazymes and Digestin oil and the soft gels. Okay. Very good for anything that you would have taken an antacid for. We'll just put it that way. Then there are other oils like myrtle and spearmint, which actually eliminates H. pylori as well and may protect you from stomach ulcers. Cardamom provides better protection against stomach ulcers than Zantac. Did y'all know I was going to throw medicine under the bus? Woohoo! I love it. As well as clove. Clove also helps protect the stomach from stomach ulcers. Copaiba is another one. Protects against ulcers if you have an ulcer because you took too many what we call NSAIDs, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. Okay. I wish I'd have had that back in the day when I wound up in the hospital thinking I was having a heart attack, and it was because I had gastritis from taking too many NSAIDs. Okay. All right. So here's a recipe. Take 5 drops of each of lemon, ginger, plus 2 drops of clove in a capsule 3 times a day with meals to help with tummy troubles. Okay. Now we're going to move to foods. What foods can you eat to help your stomach? Well, first of all, here's the avoid part. Remember in the beginning, we talked about what we're going to avoid. Avoid those trigger foods like spicy foods, gassy foods, cabbage and beans, if that's whatever it is for you. Maybe it's chocolate that makes you gassy. Avoid those foods and you'll avoid the abdominal problems. Okay. For some people it's gluten, some people it's dairy. Whatever it is for you, avoid that trigger. Okay. And then it depends on what issue you have. But let's say you have diverticulitis. You want to add fermented foods. Okay. Like yogurt. But watch out for yogurt unless you make it at home. Right, Miss Nancy? Because yogurt contains a lot of sugar. Okay. Sauerkraut is a good fermented food. Kefir, kimchi, tempeh. Is that how you say that? I don't know what that is, but I know what miso is. Anyway, these are all great fermented foods. If you have, say, constipation, then you want to add more fiber foods like green leafy vegetables. And the more raw, the better. And then, of course, drink more water with salt. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but I'm sure you probably don't remember growing up saying, here, have some salt. Now here, drink your water, right? Okay, so high cholesterol. If you have high cholesterol, then these are some of the oils that would be really good for you. So lavender and basil, and then one called Monarda. I don't know if maybe is that Jeanette that's here with us, or is that just Brittany? I don't know. I don't know if anybody knows what Monarda is, but I looked it up, and Monarda fistulosa is the wild bergamot or bee balm. It's a wildflower in the mint family. Okay, it's widespread and abundant, a native plant in much of North America. This plant with showy summer blooming pink and lavender flowers is often used as a honey plant, a medicinal plant, and a garden ornamental. Okay. Cinnamon bark is a really good oil to use when you have high cholesterol. It helps to reduce the triglycerides. It increases your HDL, which is the good cholesterol. And lemongrass is a good one to help with total cholesterol levels. Turmeric, of course, because of its anti-inflammatory properties, reduces high cholesterol as effectively, here we go again, throwing another med under the bus, as this cholesterol absorption limiting drug. Okay. As a Tembe, I don't know if I said that right or not. This is has a pediatric dose even. High cholesterol in the pediatric world, y'all. It's so real. I know you've seen these kids. They're as big as their parent and they're 10 years old. That is not healthy. Who thinks that's healthy? That is, no, it's not. And they don't need to be on a high cholesterol drug at 10, 12 years old. Okay. But it is recommended in the pediatric world to be given with a statin drug. If y'all know anything about statin drugs, they are horrible. They have horrible side effects. And no, I just say no. Just say no. Okay, then we have Melissa oil, can also reduce triglycerides. But a tip to you about cholesterol. You must know that our body needs cholesterol. Cholesterol is considered in the functional world as a glue for our body to help. Okay, it helps to patch up issues. The body makes it for a reason. And when you go to the doctor and they give you this number and they say, oh, this number is too high, I could teach a whole class on lab values. Okay. But I'll just tell you this. They still use, Western medicine today still uses the exact same lab value normal range as they've done for the past 100 years. Okay. It has not changed. And so you think about your body. I think there's only females here. Okay. But if you're watching this later and you're a male, sorry, but you in your body, they use the same value for you as they do for an 80-year-old man. There you go. They consider what's normal for an 80-year-old man the same as what's normal for you. Something's wrong with that. That just can't be right. Okay. So there needs to be some education in the Western world about thinking about optimal lab values and what might be optimal for your body. How much cholesterol you have in your body may very well be a good thing. Okay. So let's keep going. Take a capsule with 5 drops of cinnamon, lemongrass, and clove twice a day. This will help to reduce your cholesterol. And I again say without a statin. Okay, so foods for high cholesterol. By increasing your soluble fiber, okay, and these are foods, I got this from Harvard, y'all. Turmeric, oats, barley, and other whole grains, beans, eggplant, and okra, and nuts. These are all good foods to help reduce your high cholesterol. There you go. Now, I thought I was going to talk about allergies. Did I miss the allergies, or did I talk about the allergies? High blood pressure.
You did talk about some allergy stuff.
Oh, nope. I got a couple more slides. No wonder. I was like, wait a minute. Yep, I got a couple more slides. Just 2 more, and then we're done. All right. So allergies is the last one. So allergies create inflammation. And what did I say earlier? That inflammation is the basis of most disease, right? So the oils that can be taken for allergies, of course, is Tri-Ease, but cedarwood balances the mast cell degranulation. In essence, helps your allergies. Okay. German chamomile helps to block the severity of an immune response when it does come aboard. Okay. That's German chamomile. Lemongrass helps to suppress the release of the antibody IgE, which is when you go get your labs drawn, they're looking at IgE to see if you have allergies. Tea tree oil reduces skin allergy reactions. So you might very well have an allergy to something that touches your skin, but if you use tea tree, it will help reduce that reaction. Eucalyptus reduces airway inflammation and the excess production of mucus. So those are the oils that you can use for allergies. Now here's the foods. So I looked up lower histamine foods because I'm not really, other than saying, okay, if you know what your trigger is, avoid that. Okay. But the low histamine foods are almonds and apples and asparagus, basil, even holy basil, blueberries, broccoli, all these foods right here, chamomile tea, hibiscus tea, pomegranates, pumpkin seeds, spirulina, and sweet potatoes. These are all foods that are low in histamine, so they're going to cause less allergies in people. Okay. And then, and avoiding your triggers. Be careful if you have allergies and you have cheat days, or if you like to take part in a cheat day, because once you've kicked it off, then you've got 4, 5, 6 days afterwards to deal with whatever reaction happened when you cheated. Okay, so it might not be worth it. But you know your body better than anybody. So that's just a suggestion. Citrus fruits, fermented foods, alcohol. These are all known triggers. Packaged meat like pepperoni. Gosh, y'all, we've always bought our own pepperoni, made our own pizzas at home. And now I'm like, ugh, it could very well be triggering allergies. Aged cheese and legumes. Now listen, legumes are a good food, okay? Especially lentils. They're really good food for you, but that might be what's triggering your allergies. Who knows? These are all great foods, but not if you lean on the allergy side of things, in essence. So if you tend to have allergies to some foods, these foods might trigger your allergies as well. And that is all I have for tonight.
Awesome. Oh, Lainey, loved it. So much good information. If you click off of your screen share, then, oh, perfect. Now we can see everybody. So you guys, let us know, what questions do you guys have for Lainey? I feel like it's a great time to ask.
Right. I have a question. You had how to take them in capsules, all these oils for the different things.
Right.
What if you don't want to mess with taking the capsules? Will rubbing on the bottom of your feet or applying, topically somehow work as well, or what? Or is that really the only option is the capsules?
No, you can use them how, whatever works for you. I personally would not put cinnamon on the bottom of my feet. It's hot, so I would put it in a capsule. Same thing. I don't like the taste of tea tree. You know what I mean? So I would put it in a capsule. Several different things. Turmeric already comes in a capsule, so I just buy them. With doTERRA already makes it, I just buy what they make. And but like the capsules come, they're called veggie caps, and there's I don't know, 160 of them, I think.
Yeah, I've made them up before, and I make them up a bunch at a time and stick them in the freezer. But sometimes just rub it on your foot and go, or something. And getting my husband to take pills is hard, and sometimes he might do something else.
Yeah, lemongrass on the bottom of the feet to help the cholesterol, absolutely. Like that sort of thing, sure. Listen, with these guys, Lara can back me up on this one. Sometimes we just gotta, get them in, sneak them in when we can, right? My hubby happens to like the oils, and in fact, he says he used oils long before we found doTERRA, And of course, when I asked him, where did you get that eucalyptus from back in the day, as he says it, and he said at a gas station. So there you go. Healed his knees, he swears up and down. Bought it at a gas station. But yeah, so but he, he puts a lot of oils under his tongue. You can put them under your tongue if you can handle that. Frankincense is great to put on your tongue for overall good health. Copaiba under the tongue for good abdominal issues, for neurological issues. Definitely I would put copaiba under the tongue for somebody that has seizures or Parkinson's or something like that. So yeah, that's a great question. Thank you. Anybody else? I didn't see the chat.
I didn't see a lot of questions in the chat, just like people being like, yeah, I agree. And so
Cool. Did everybody learn something? Yeah,
yeah, for sure.
something at least.
Yeah.
I hope when I teach that people at least learn one or two little tidbits, something they didn't know,
Yeah, that was awesome. Thank you so much, Lainey. All
You're
right, I am going to stop recording because we are at our hour mark, and just thank you so much. We've got some messages in. Just thank you. They loved it. So
Awesome.